Alright guys, Indie Attack, we have Iris. It's a 2D side-scroller with a sort of overarching plot. It is a very kind of Limbo-esque aesthetic.
Limbo is a very good comparison.
Yeah, I would say, but Limbo with a lot more mechanics.
Limbo with combat.
Yeah, Limbo with combat.
Because the main gimmick of this game is that you have a bow.
Yes.
And you move your character with your, arrow keys and everything like that. Your basic keyboard controls, you aim your bow. With your mouse, you have to charge it up and fire arrows and stuff, and pretty much everything we encountered ran off of the bow.
Yes.
As an item, you have to shoot stuff in sequence. Enemies are all made of giant black masses and sort of these glowing red or orange weak points.
Also very Limbo.
Yes, also very Limbo. You shoot those, and you defeat them.
Right. You have to time it at times.
You have to shoot stuff in the environment to advance.
Like, moving platforms and
boats
and such.
It's a platformer.
Yeah. Another comparison I thought was Trine. It had sort of the Trine with the bow. It was very... You're solving puzzles. It's definitely an amalgam of a lot of things, but it's gorgeous looking. It's a beautiful game.
I would definitely agree on that. It's pretty, but it's a pretty art style that is pretty common in a lot of indie games.
It is, like we said, it's derivative.
It's pretty derivative art style, which is not to discredit any of the effort put into it, because it doesn't look good, but it's common.
It is.
It's
familiar.
It doesn't really do much to set itself apart from what I have seen in the time I have played it.
Yeah, I think the story here is just that we have a solid... It doesn't it's one of those not elevating above the genre, but a solid entry in the genre.
Yes, solid entry, but doesn't really do anything all that interesting on its own that we encounter, because admittedly we did not play this for very long and could do a more... And this also is a student project too. I believe it's from DigiPen, so I'm thinking this is probably a student project.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Recall Infinity with 2 Y's. So, it does, we... have to account for the fact that this is a free game, and the terms of the agreement here. It's like you have to balance it. But I think if you're in the mood for this kind of a game, like, hey, you're in luck.
So I do have a few things that I think the game could improve upon. One of those is that I think they could pull the screen back quite a bit. The screen is pulled up to your character a lot, and you don't really have a very wide visual range. Yeah. And I think that's pretty limiting for a game that's based off of projectiles, because anything you see on the screen is like within 20 feet of you.
Right.
And so I think they need to pull the screen back a bit.
Because you want that sense of scale.
Because you want to be able to see stuff, and you want to be able to, shoot a giant cool boss.
Right.
And shoot all of its weak points and everything, and I just feel like we're shooting parts of stuff right now.
Right. You're not getting to appreciate the visuals as much as you could, and the visuals are very, captivating.
And I also think this would work pretty well on a mobile device. Because your pretty much only controls for this are up, down to aim, and left, right to move.
Mm-hmm. And the shooting, pointing, it would be
so
perfect.
with the touchscreen controls to move, that'd be perfect.
Yes.
And this would fit pretty well, I think, on mobile.
Yeah, I think, if this was $1 on an iPad, like, I would say wholeheartedly recommend it. You know what I mean? And I think, like, if they, if they tweak it, fine tune it, who knows? I don't know, it doesn't seem like there's a Kickstarter or anything going on to, like, make this, a full release, but who knows what the future is for these guys making these games.
Yeah.
This game, and Iris, you might see it on an iPad someday.
I definitely think it's something they could do more with.
Yes.
At this point in time,
just a little
it is
more
one of those
creative,
games, that it's good, like right now, but it's not good enough I would play this over other things, because there's a lot of other stuff out right now, and
yeah, definitely. There's a lot of
it kind of falls into this, like, the indie ocean of not necessarily being... It doesn't stand out enough among its competition to make it like a truly unique experience.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I think I'd probably go like 3 out of 5 on this one for my recommendation. Maybe if you see this and you think it looks really pretty, go check it out. Maybe.
Definitely, yeah. I would probably, I'm gonna go with the 4 on it, just because I think it's a good. Of the game, there's so many these indie games, some of them are not games. And this is a game, it's a solid game. There's effort put into it, and I think it's a worthwhile entry into the platforming kind of genre. And I think if you're in the mood for it, go check out Iris. But it's definitely not something that's gonna blow your mind. So that is Iris.